Welcome to LMU Community TV News. I'm Allison Barnett. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at the stories we have for you today. One woman was injured during a two-vehicle collision in Tazewell on Sunday. Tazewell police say officers were dispatched to a possible head-on collision between an SUV and a tractor-trailer on Highway 25E in the area commonly known as Motel Hill. According to reports, a Jeep was headed north on 25E when it struck a semi-truck. The truck came to rest approximately 20 feet off the right side of the roadway. The Jeep stopped on the curb in the northbound lane. The female driver of the Jeep was transported by Claiborne EMS to the helipad and transported by Lifestar to UT Medical Center. She was listed in stable condition. The driver of the semi-truck was not injured. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Office and New Tazewell Police Department also assisted on the scene. A Middlesboro man is behind bars after attempting to run away from police Sunday night. 43-year-old Anthony Lumpkin was charged with first and third-degree possession of a controlled substance and second-degree fleeing or evading police. Police say they went to a residence to execute a warrant on Lumpkin. When police entered the residence, Lumpkin jumped out of a bedroom window. Police pursued and captured Lumpkin at 21st Street and Exeter Avenue. Police found a baggie containing a crystal-like substance believed to be methamphetamine and 2 orange tablets. Lumpkin was also served 2 bench warrants. He is being held at the Bell County Detention Center. A truck containing 1,000 cigars filled with marijuana was confiscated during a traffic stop on I-75 in La Follette early this morning. The driver of the vehicle, Veronica Atkinson, faces charges of felony possession of marijuana for resale, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, and speeding. Officers say they discovered 1,011 clear glass tubes filled with cigars that were stuffed with marijuana. Prescription medication and drug paraphernalia were also found during the search. LMU DCOM is honoring local veterans on November 9th in recognition of Veterans Day. The dinner will take place at 6 p.m. at the Hamilton Math and Science Building on the Harrogate campus. The dinner will feature special guest speaker, Assistant Professor of Preventative Medicine, Anthony Luttrell. Luttrell is a retired Lieutenant Colonel of the United States Army Medical Corps. He received his medical degree from Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences in 1995 and a master's degree in International Health from Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. The event is being hosted by the Student Association of Military and Osteopathic Medicine's physicians and surgeons from LMU DCOM. Now let's take a look at your LMU community calendar of events coming up over the next couple of weeks. Cumberland chapter number 170 of the Order of the Eastern Star will have a turkey dinner from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on November 4th at Martin Station Masonic Lodge on Dr. Thomas Walker Road, 1 mile west of Rose Hill, Virginia. Menu will be turkey, drinks, and dessert. Cost is $9 for adults, $6 for ages 5 to 12, and 5 and under is free. Carry-out meals are $9, and proceeds will benefit the scholarship fund. Now to look at your community calendar. We're now moving on to your LMU Community TV News 5-day weather forecast. To start your Tuesday off, the morning temperature will be 36, and as the day progresses, the temperature will rise to 62 degrees. Looking at your 3-day calendar, Wednesday will have a high of 71 with a 10% chance of rain. Thursday will have a 100% chance of rain with a high of 62. Moving to your 5-day, Friday will be cloudy with a 20% chance of rain with a high of 53. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high of 55 and a 20% chance of rain. Now it's a quick recap of your 5-day forecast, but stay with us. That's coming up after the break. Brandon Burke will be bringing you your sports report right here on LMU Community TV News.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shields, and I'm a physician and the medical director at LMU Medical Clinics. This is a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season. Influenza, or flu for short, is a virus that causes fever, body aches, and upper respiratory symptoms like cough, runny nose, and sore throat. It is transmitted through the air and can even be spread on objects touched by someone who has the flu. The virus spreads easily from person to person and is most active from October through March. There are 3 things you can do to prevent becoming ill with the flu. First, get vaccinated. The most effective way of preventing the flu is to get the flu vaccine every year. The vaccine does not give you the flu or make you sick. The vaccine may not be 100% effective, however, it does offer significant protection and lessen the symptoms should you get the flu. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older be vaccinated before the flu season begins. Number 2, wash your hands. Stop the spread of germs and protect yourself with frequent hand washing with soap or alcohol-based hand sanitizer. And third, if you are sick, stay home. Should you become ill with flu-like symptoms of fever, sore throat, cough, limit your contact with others. Schedule an appointment as soon as possible with LMU Medical Clinic or your healthcare provider. There are antivirals that may be indicated if started within 48 hours of symptoms. Stay home until you are fever-free for 24 hours without over-the-counter medications like Motrin or Tylenol. I'm Dr. Shields, and this has been a brief announcement about keeping LMU and you healthy during the upcoming flu season.
What do we know about learning? It takes place beyond the pages of a book. We learn by exploring, by trying new things, by connecting, by sharing. We learn by taking chances and dreaming big. At Lincoln Memorial University, learning is beyond the books. It's everywhere.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit savethefood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. Heading into the final week of the 2018 regular season, the Lincoln Memorial women's volleyball team has been a force to be reckoned with, celebrating Senior Day in style on Friday before reaching another W less than 24 hours later, taking down both Mars Hill and Lenoir-Rhyne in Harrogate, LMU winning 6 of their 8 sets over the weekend. The Lady Rail Splitters honored their 5 seniors to get the final home weekend slate started, and it was a handful of those players who had a night to remember, leading the charge en route to a 3-1 Lincoln Memorial victory against struggling Mars Hill. LMU handled the Lions in the opening 2 frames, 25-22 and 25-19. Their only blemish in set 3, a 25-21 MHU win there. Head coach Jenny Michael and company ensured there would be no further Mars Hill comeback in set 4, a 25-14 victory to close the day, reaching 52 kills on a 179 hitting clip. Lindsay Nartker with an impressive 13-kill, 16-dig double-double. 3 LMU seniors were right in the mix of the Blue and Gray's offensive attack. Kai Wiesman and Tone Gill collecting 10 kills each, the latter adding a match high of 8 blocks. Danielle Gedd contributing 6 and 6 in those 2 categories to help Lincoln Memorial tame the Lions for the 9th time in the past 10 tries. Add in 9 more kills from Riley Storms, a 43-assist, 14-dig night for Emily Walter, and a 47-dig performance from Erica Whitaker, tying the school record for the most in a 4-set match. And the Lady Rail Splitters strolled into the home finale on Saturday afternoon, handing Lenoir-Rhyne another 3-1 defeat, avenging a loss to the Bears earlier this season as they had to Mars Hill the previous evening. LMU kept up their sizzling effort on offense against LR, reaching 60 kills total on a .257 attack percentage, winning the first 2 sets once more by scores of 25-13 and 25-22, taking a minor lick in set 3, 25-22, before emerging victorious in the 4th frame, 25-17. 4 Lady Railsplitters accounted for double-digit kills on Saturday. Storms with 15 on 9 digs. Wiesman a career best of 13. Nartker equaling that mark along with 10 assists, and Gill with 11. Whitaker leading all players with 24 digs on 4 service aces, and Walter loading up a career-high 52 assists. Only 3 more matches are left on the regular season schedule, all on the road, the first of which will take place this Tuesday at 7 p.m. in Jefferson City, Tennessee, against heated rival Carson Newman. Lincoln Memorial hopes to keep up their stellar play as of late, winners of 8 of their last 10 matches, staying in 3rd place across the South Atlantic Conference standings with a 16-7 record, 12-5 in league meetings. After going 12-2 when inside the Mary Mars Gymnasium, the Lady Railsplitters look to return home for one more meeting, the conference tournament quarterfinals, but must first battle Carson Newman on Tuesday evening off the heels of a tremendous weekend performance. And speaking of teams that seemingly no other squad in the SAC won a part of, the LMU women's soccer team has reached that status after ending the 2018 regular season on a high note, shutting out Newberry in South Carolina for a 1-0 triumph, the Lady Railsplitters' 3rd consecutive win, having now won 6 of their last 7. Freshman phenom Jessica Crivero provided the only goal that Lincoln Memorial needed on Saturday to reach the W, securing her 14th strike of the season in minute number 26, a lead that the Lady Railsplitters would never relinquish on their way to a statement win, the 9th time this season that LMU has held their opponents scoreless, the highest number in the South Atlantic Conference. The blue and gray towered over the Wolves in terms of total shot opportunities at a 23-6 advantage, including an 8-2 edge in shot on goal tries, and the result is another victory, a history-making one at that. After silencing Newberry to improve to 11-4 as a whole on a 7-3 record against conference competition, Lincoln Memorial solidified a 2nd-place finish in the league standings, where they were predicted to finish 9th in the preseason, winning a tiebreaker with Lenore-Rhine due to a 2-1 win over the Bears earlier this month. Not only qualifying for the SAC tournament for the first time in 3 years, the Lady Railsplitters will be hosting the opening round of the postseason for the first time since 2014, facing off against 7th-seeded Queens on Tuesday afternoon at the LMU Soccer Complex, kicking off at 2:00 p.m. Lincoln Memorial just defeated the Royals in their last matchup before doing the same to Newberry, winning in Charlotte 1-0, and you can find out if the Lady Railsplitters make it 2 in a row and keep on blazing a path through the rest of the division in the most important time of the year by visiting www.lmurailsplitters.com, the same location where the LMU Sports Network will be broadcasting the quarterfinal event. And it was a picture-perfect conclusion to the regular season for the women's unit. However, the LMU men's soccer club wasn't as fortunate on Saturday afternoon against the Wolves on the road, ending a sluggish double overtime bout against Newberry with a scoreless draw after 110 minutes of action, denying the Railsplitters a chance to host the first round of the SAC tourney in the process. In a similar story to that of their last weekend match against Coker at home, in which LMU landed 30 shot attempts only to convert one of those into a score, Lincoln Memorial blasted off 28 against the Wolves to be held scoreless this time around, ultimately ending in the same result of a tie. The Railsplitters simply couldn't find the hole in the Newberry defense on Saturday, reaching 14 shot-on-goal chances to be thwarted each and every time, including a 13-5 advantage in corner kicks that LMU also held. Due to the draw against the Wolves, Lincoln Memorial finishes out the year with 8 wins, 3 losses, and 4 ties, compiling a 5-2-3 record when in South Atlantic Conference play, finding themselves in a 3-way tie for 4th place, just missing out on a hosting bid, dropping to 5th. LMU was able to hold the tiebreaker over Wingate thanks to a 3-0 blowout earlier this month, but was unable to finish better than Anderson, whom the Splitters tied with at a neutral site the week prior. The Trojans eventually then took the 4th place nod after defeating top-seeded Lenore-Rhine on Saturday, leaving Lincoln Memorial to travel to Anderson on Tuesday for SAC tournament quarterfinal play. LMU kicks off with the Trojans at 7 p.m. from South Carolina, and for further details on everything Lincoln Memorial athletics related as the postseason is finally here for soccer and on the way for volleyball, once again you can head over to LMURailsplitters.com. And the 2018 high school football regular season has officially closed its door, at least in Tennessee and Kentucky, since Virginia trails behind by 1 week. And now that the playoff brackets have been shaped for the most part, let's take a look at what transpired under the lights in Week 11 around the region. Beginning with the Volunteer State, in a shocking turn of events, the Cumberland Gap Panthers were derailed by the Tigers of Rockwood in the 2018 finale, slumping to a 26-0 defeat, and in doing so, leaving CG out of the postseason, even with a 6-4 record, since every game that the Panthers lost was inside of regional competition. In contrast to this, the Claiborne Bulldogs picked up their second win of the year, but since both of those wins were inside the region, CHS gets to continue into the playoffs, besting winless North Green on the road 34-6, snapping a 6-game losing streak. The Campbell County Cougars have suffered the same fate as the Gap in that a decent season will not amount to a playoff berth, falling to Knox West in Jacksboro on Friday 35-7, ending the season with 3 straight losses and a 4-6 final record. It was jubilation for Union County and disheartening for Granger as the Patriots blasted the Grizzlies 20-8 on Friday, making UC 6-4 and playoff bound, only to mark GHS at 5-5 and with a sudden end to a once promising season. The Jellicoe Blue Devils were upended by the Pirates of Berea out of Kentucky, and despite finishing the year 1-9 and with an 18-0 loss to a team which snapped a 47-game losing streak in beating them, JHS is granted access into the playoffs thanks to their lone win over Unaka being inside regional play. And the Hancock County Indians were given an extra week to prepare for the postseason since they did not take a bye throughout the year, sitting at 3-7 and with a playoff date on the horizon. Moving on to the Bluegrass State, the Bell County Bobcats faced little resistance from Harlan County on the road in their finale, rolling into the postseason on fire at 9-1 after a 46-26 win over the Black Bears. It was not a pleasing end to 2018 for Middlesboro, the Yellow Jackets dropping their 8th game in a row to finish at 1-9 after a 50-18 beatdown at the hands of Williamsburg, and the Pineville Mountain Lions, like Hancock County, never took a bye over the course of 10 weeks, ending in a 4-6 record awaiting the playoffs, such is the case that every team in Kentucky moves on regardless of record. And lastly, in Virginia, the Thomas Walker Pioneers kept on chugging to a 7-2 record, their 4th win in a row overall, easing by Twin Springs 35-12. And the Lehigh Generals let another close game slip through their fingertips, falling to Wise Central 27-20 in Jonesville, their 4th loss in a row overall. This Wednesday, LMU Community TV Sports will begin previewing Week 1 of the playoffs in the tri-state area as the Commonwealth State then joins the party the weekend after. And in Week 9 of the 2018 NCAA football season, both the Tennessee Vols and the Kentucky Wildcats were tested on the road against SEC Eastern Division foes, coming up with opposite results in a city named Columbia. For the Volunteers, the curse against Coach Will Muschamp continues as UT let a 21-9 third-quarter lead squander in South Carolina, losing to the Gamecocks 27-24, outscored in the second half 18-10. In another gutsy effort from quarterback Jarrett Garantano, throwing for 207 yards on 2 touchdowns, Tennessee's defense simply broke too late into regulation to give themselves hope on another road victory, falling to 3-5 as a whole, 1-4 in SEC action, and 0-7 all-time when going head-to-head with Muschamp, whether it be at Florida or at USC. And while the Vols ended the weekend down in the dumps after a tight loss, UK avoided that same result against Missouri, coming back from a 14-3 deficit to score twice with just over 5 minutes left, scoring a TD on an untimed down on the final play, winning 15-14. A 67-yard punt return from Lynn Bowden Jr. preceded the game-winning 2-yard pass from Terry Wilson to tight end C.J. Conrad, keeping the Wildcats at 7-1 in total, 5-1 in SEC meetings, and just outside the AP Top 10 at number 11, Kentucky's best start through 8 games since 1977. Next Saturday's Week 10 will hold 2 vastly different outcomes for UT and UK. The Volunteers going back to square one with Charlotte coming to town for homecoming, and the Wildcats hosting 6th-ranked Georgia from Lexington with the SEC East Championship on the line. And the final race in the month of October across the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series didn't see any other drivers eliminated, although the first ticket to Miami was punched. The number 22 car of Joey Logano crossing the checkered flag first at the Martinsville Speedway in Virginia, winning the first Data 500 and thus automatically qualifying for the Ford EcoBoost 400 in mid-November for the Cup title. Outlasting Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. to roll into victory lane in Martinsville, Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski filed out out the top 5 behind Logano. And after the field was trimmed down to 8 last weekend, all drivers inside that top 8 are safe for now, but with Logano the first to clinch his spot in the championship in 3 weeks. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Kurt Busch stand as the 4 competitors behind Logano in the latest Chase standings, while Chase Elliott, Clint Boyer, and Eric Almirola stay inside the top 8 with only 3 more dates remaining until a new Cup champion will be crowned. Up next in the Monster Energy Cup Series is the AAA Texas 500 at the Texas Motor Speedway, kicking off next Sunday, November the 4th. And that is all for sports over a crowded weekend, but stay tuned as more LMU Community TV news is coming up next, right after this.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart.
want cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't have
I really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have another bad day at school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. Yeah, Dad. We're getting so wet.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for watching LMU Community TV News. I'm Allison Barnett, and have a great evening.